You know that feeling, first day at a new job? Those first few weeks are absolutely critical. They can make or break your entire experience. But here's the crazy part. For so many companies, that super important time is, well, it's just left up to chance. So what happens when you leave something so important to chance? You get a number like this, 33%. Just let that sink in for a second. Nearly 1 out of every 3 new employees quits within their first 90 days. And a huge reason for that? A terrible, inconsistent, or just plain confusing onboarding experience.
And this is what it creates, something I like to call the onboarding lottery. You know, some lucky new hires, they hit the jackpot. They get this amazing, structured 90-day plan that really sets them up to win. But then there's everyone else. They get a quick tour of the office, a mountain of paperwork, and are basically told, good luck. They're left to sink or swim. And let me tell you, this inconsistency isn't just unfair. It is a massive risk to the business.
So how do we fix this whole lottery system? Well, that's what this explainer is all about. Here's our game plan. First, we're going to unpack the real cost of all this inconsistency. Then, we'll introduce our hero, the playbook. After that, we'll look at the incredible benefits of getting it right. And finally, we'll walk through exactly how you can build your very own.
All right, let's jump right into section 1. What is the actual tangible cost when your onboarding is just a total patchwork of different experiences? So, it turns out when good people quit early, it's not random at all. Just look at this. When you ask employees who bailed within the first 6 months why they left, the answers are so telling. 23% said they had no clear guidance, and another 21% said they just wanted better training. You see, these aren't about personality clashes or bad fits. These are completely fixable failures in the onboarding process.
And the damage, it goes so much deeper than just the cost of recruiting a replacement. Bad onboarding creates this massive ripple effect across the entire company. It slows everyone down, making that time to productivity way longer. It totally fragments your company culture. It can even open you up to serious compliance and security risks. It doesn't just erode collaboration. It pretty much stops it from ever starting.
Okay, so if inconsistency is the villain of our story, who's the hero? Well, that brings us right to our solution, the Onboarding Playbook. So what exactly is an onboarding playbook? Think of it as a strategic roadmap. It's this comprehensive guide that lays out every single step of a new hire's journey, right from the moment they sign that offer letter all the way through their first 90 days and even beyond. This is not just some other HR document collecting dust on a shelf. It's a real blueprint for success.
Let's break that down a little bit more. A playbook is like a standardized recipe, right? It means every single manager, whether they're brand new or seasoned pro, can deliver a consistently great experience. It becomes the one single source of truth for all your policies, your training, your values. And because it covers the entire journey, it guarantees that every new person gets the same fair, supportive, and really effective start.
Okay, so we know what a playbook is. But before we get into the how-to, let's really dig into the why. What's the actual payoff for putting in this work? Because honestly, the numbers here are pretty incredible.
Let's kick things off with retention. Remember that 33% of people who quit? Well, check this out. Companies that have a strong, structured onboarding process see an 82% increase in keeping those new hires. 82. It's actually really simple. When you make people feel welcomed, prepared, and valued, they want to stick around. But it's not just about keeping people in their seats. It's about making them effective. Look at this. New hires at companies with a formal process. They reach full productivity 34% faster. What does that actually mean for the business? It means they are adding real, tangible value more than a month sooner than they would have otherwise. That is a massive, massive win.
And that speed, it translates directly to overall impact. Those same companies see 50% greater productivity from the new hires. This just proves it. A playbook isn't just a fancy welcome packet. It is a genuine performance accelerator.
So the takeaway here is crystal clear, right? This isn't some nice-to-have HR initiative. It's a real strategic advantage. So let's say you're sold. The big question is, how do you actually build one? Okay, let's get into the blueprint.
A really great playbook has to cover all the bases. First, you need clear goals. What does success even look like at the end of this? A 30, 60, and 90-day timeline is absolutely essential to map out the journey. You also have to define who does what. The manager, HR, IT, maybe even assigning a buddy. Then, you need those step-by-step checklists, easy access to all the core training, a real immersion into your company culture, and, this is key, built-in points for feedback and check-ins. It's a complete framework, and the whole point is to leave absolutely nothing to chance.
And you know what? Creating one is way more manageable than you might think. Here's the process. Step 1. Gather input from everybody involved. Step 2. Define that core experience that every single employee should have. Step 3. Develop the actual content, the materials, the checklists. 4. Leverage technology to make it easy and consistent. 5. Pilot it. Test it with a small group to work out any kinks. And finally, step 6. You have to train your managers on how to actually use it effectively. It's a clear, straightforward process.
When you get right down to it, all of this process, all these steps, they boil down to one simple thing: the message it sends. A great playbook says to every single new hire, hey, we've been expecting you. We are organized, we are prepared, and we are deeply, genuinely invested in your success, starting right now on day 1.
So, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about for your own company. Right now, is your onboarding process a well-designed roadmap that guarantees success, or is it just a lottery, leaving everything up to chance?